The third aspect in your eating pattern that can manipulate insulin resistance is the fats and oils in your diet. There is no doubt that most people eat too much fat. Some of you might even admit that you just love it. You might be ignorant about the fat in your diet. And on the other side, we have some dieters with fat phobia. They don't eat any fat at all. Eating too much or too little or even no fat at all poses a great risk to your health. Good fats maintain all cell membranes and are used by the brain and nerves, boost your immunity, balance all the hormones in your body, reduce any inflammation, and promote a healthy skin. Furthermore, good oils reverse the destructive metabolic cycle. Consequently, it will make you more insulin sensitive, lower your blood pressure and blood cholesterol, increase the good HDL cholesterol, thin your blood so it will not clot easily, and help you to lose weight. Good or poor is determined by the type of fat in your diet. Unsaturated fats are mostly from plant origin and are liquid or soft at room temperature. These are the good oils and can be divided into mono and polyunsaturated fats. Monounsaturated fats are also called omega-9 fatty acids. Polyunsaturated fats can be divided into omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Saturated fats, mostly from animal origin, are solid at room temperature. The only animal fat that has a plant-like structure is the oil from dark, oily fish. They form part of the good omega-3 fatty acids. The food industry often converts liquid plant oil, such as sunflower oil, into a hard fat like brick margarine via a process called hydrogenation. These fats are now spreadable and enhance the texture of food. This gives food a pleasing, non-greasy mouthfeel. These fats are now called trans fats. They act in the body as hard, saturated fats, but are in fact worse and are referred to as very poor, unhealthy fats. Examples of these fats include brick margarine, commercial frying fats and shortening, and are used in baking biscuits, pastries, confectioneries, and pies. As a first step in making healthy changes in your eating pattern, you can aim for 1/3 of the fat from monounsaturated fat sources, 1/3 from polyunsaturated, and 1/3 from saturated fat sources, including as little as possible of the trans fats. On average, a woman who wants to lose body fat needs about 40 to 50 grams of fat per day, and a man about 70 to 80 grams. If your weight is on target and you are exercising regularly, this can go up from 60 to 70 grams for a woman and from 90 to 100 grams for a man. On paper, this seems easy, doesn't it? You can now calculate how much of each fat you need per day. It even sounds like a lot of fat, doesn't it? As long as you know which foods contain what kind of fat, you will do it, won't you? In reality, however, the average person eats excessive amounts of saturated and trans fats. It can easily go up to 200 grams per day, if not more. Furthermore, we often consume too much omega-6 oils, mostly hidden in foods. The neglected oils in most of our diets are omega-3 and omega-9 oils. Turn this pyramid around, and you will have a good guide as what to look for if you want to balance your fat intake in a healthy way. Increase your intake of omega-3 and omega-9. Watch out for hidden omega-6 oils and cut drastically on the saturated and trans fats. Good sources of monounsaturated or omega-9 oils include canola oil, extra virgin cold-pressed olive oil as your best option, olives, avocados and avocado oil, canola margarine, as well as olive margarine, most nuts and peanuts, as well as peanut butter. You can incorporate these good oils in your diet by adding a few nuts to your muesli or breakfast cereal, a handful of nuts for a mid-morning snack, whole wheat crackers or low GI seeded bread with peanut butter, avocado or olives in your salad, an olive oil salad dressing, or canola oil for your vegetable stir-fry. A woman who needs to lose body fat can have the following: a few nuts with her breakfast cereal, olives for the salad, as well as extra virgin olive oil as a salad dressing, or peanut butter on a slice of seeded bread or whole wheat crackers, canola oil for stir-fry, and avocado in her salad or on crackers. Men who need to lose body fat can also have a peanut butter sandwich. Increase the portion of olives and avocado. Avocado and olives in your salad, a handful of nuts, as well as extra virgin olive oil as a salad dressing will also make up for your omega-9 intake for the day. Be sure to have these good oils every day. They help to reverse the destructive metabolic cycle and will give you optimum health and well-being. When I start to eat nuts or peanuts, I can't stop. Do you also have this problem? A word of caution. If a little is good, a lot is not better. Too much of these good oils will add to your body's fat stores with its destructive metabolic consequences. The polyunsaturated fats consist of the omega-3 and omega-6 oils. Dark-fleshed, oily fish is the best source of omega-3 in the diet. Examples include herring, snook, sardines, salmon, kipper, trout, and tuna. You must eat at least 2 to 3 portions of oily fish per week. Omega-3 fats have amazing anti-inflammatory properties, and they are often referred to as nature's own cortisone. Consequently, they play a major role in pain relief for patients with arthritis and fibromyalgia or any other inflammatory condition. Other proven benefits of enough omega-3 fats in the diet include improved memory, alleviation of symptoms of depression, greatly improved quality of life for children and adults with ADHD, and a reduction in the risk of colon, breast, and prostate cancer. you cannot eat fish for whatever reason, I suggest you supplement your diet with omega-3 oils. Theoretically, flaxseed can be converted to the active substances EPA and DHA in the human body. However, many factors, such as the saturated and trans fats in your diet, can inhibit this conversion drastically. If you are allergic to the supplements, make sure you cut on the saturated and trans fats. Otherwise, your intake of flaxseed and flaxseed oil will be in vain, and you will never convert enough into EPA and DHA. If you don't like fish and really don't want to give it a try, you must supplement your diet with omega-3 marine oil. Make sure that it contains at least 500 to 1,000 milligrams of the active substances EPA and DHA. If you are taking this supplement, you will need 4 to 6 capsules to get to your target of 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day. In the management of any of the conditions associated with the destructive metabolic cycle, it is imperative that you have at least 2 to 3 portions, preferably more, of fish per week. It reverses inflammation and insulin resistance and affects your health positively in many ways. Omega-3 supplements are suggested when you cannot consume fish for whatever reason. The remainder of your polyunsaturated fats should come from omega-6 oils. Sunflower seeds, linseeds, and sesame seeds, soybean oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, as well as the products made of these seeds and oils, like cooking liquid, salad dressings made of sunflower oil, low-fat mayonnaise, soft tub margarines, as well as legumes, are good sources of omega-6 oils. When looking at these sources of omega-6, you might think you are not consuming too much omega-6. You can, however, easily underestimate your omega-6 intake. Sunflower oil is relatively inexpensive and is widely used at home for baking and cooking, as well as in home-baked products for the convenient home industry around the corner. Furthermore, sunflower oil is used as animal feed, which results in other non-plant sources, such as chicken and meat. Omega-6, although they are essential fats and we have to take them in via the diet, are very common in our daily diets. According to our rough estimate, and still allowing for the omega-3 oils, you need between 15 to 25 grams per day. If, for example, you are having a homemade muffin made with soft margarine or sunflower oil, one does not always realize that it contains up to 2 or 3 teaspoons or even more oil per muffin. You should therefore cut the extra fats in your meals or salad on that particular day. Perhaps you should also get rid of your very convenient deep fat fryer. Even though these are good and essential oils in your diet, care should be taken not to overconsume these oils. Most of these oils are hidden in baked products, salad dressings, and sauces. If your intake is too high, it will be converted into fat in your body, followed by all the implicated health consequences. The remaining fats in our diet come from saturated and trans fatty acids. apart from meat and dairy, an abundance of tasty foods with a high content of saturated and trans fats are available in grocery stores, restaurants, and fast food outlets. Saturated and trans fats are directly deposited and stored into your fat cells, where they prefer to stay. It then triggers the destructive metabolic cycle. You can reduce these fats in your daily meal plan by following these guidelines. Choose low-fat, 2%, or skimmed, fat-free milk, low-fat or fat-free yogurt, low-fat custard, low-fat flavored milk. It is a myth that the color of cheese indicates the fat content of the cheese. A third of full cream cheeses are hard saturated fat. Make sure to choose a lower fat cheese, since cheese contains much fat and can easily be overconsumed. Read the labels for the fat content, as we will discuss soon. Choose leaner meat cuts, such as lean mincemeat or lean bacon. Remove the skin from chicken, preferably before cooking. Trim all visible fat from the meat before cooking. At least a third of any sausages, such as frankfurters, boerewors, Viennas, carbonossi, cheese sausages, and dried wors, is pure hard fat. Furthermore, processed meats, sandwich ham, salami, and pâté are also very high in fats. Rather choose lean cuts as convenient cold meats, such as lean ham, pastrami, silverside, shaved chicken, or turkey. Other leaner meat cuts include venison and ostrich. Avoid rich sauces, butter or cheese on meat or vegetables. Choose skimmed milk or low-fat yogurt for sauces, or add a little grated parmesan over vegetables for the cheesy taste. Skim fats off sauces, soups, and stews. Refrigerate after cooking and then remove the hardened fats. Add the vegetables later to prevent them from absorbing fat. When you prepare food, grill, roast, steam, or bake food rather than fry. Use a rack or grid to drain fat, or a non-stick pan where possible. Coconut is one of a few plant sources that also contain large quantities of saturated fats. Modern-day products made of coconut, such as coffee creamers, tea whiteners, or blends, should therefore be avoided. Cakes, biscuits, pastries, and pies also contain coconut or palm kernel oils. If you are aiming at losing body fat, a third of your daily fat allowance for saturated fats equals between 15 and 25 grams per day. Let's look at some shocking evidence of just how easily you can consume these fats, and far more. Your quick fix lunch consisting of a toasted ham, cheese and tomato sandwich and chips adds up to about 50 grams of fat. So does a pie and chips. For many of you, this accounts for your total fat intake for the day. Saturday morning's breakfast at your favorite family restaurant can vary between 50 and 60 grams, or even more, of fat. This does not include the milkshake, which adds another 15 to 20 grams of fat. The cheesecake with a cup of cappuccino at your favorite coffee shop easily adds up to about 50 grams of fat, depending on the type and portion size. Yet again, more than the total amount you should have per day if you want to lose weight. You have now come to realize that takeaways, restaurant meals, and cake with your coffee treats can be very high in hidden fats. As mentioned before, these are mostly saturated or trans fats, simply also because these fats are cheaper. How is it possible that we are tricked into eating so much fat without noticing it? The food industry has the answer. When fats are flavored, either sweet or savory, it disguises the fat and enhances the flavor. Different temperatures have the same effect. Let's look at some examples. You might not want the raw, white fat on this pork chop. But when it has been grilled and flavored with salt, you don't even recognize the fat and might just love it. The flavor added to potato chips disguises the huge amount of fat in the little packet of crisps. Ice cream is eaten frozen. You don't taste the fat disguised because it is frozen. You will consume more peanuts when they are salted. Let's look at a few more examples of popular snacks with a high percentage of hidden fats. Soft serve ice cream, 20 grams of fat. A small packet of cheese snacks, 15 grams of fat. One small tub of chips, 20 grams of fat. 100 grams of milk chocolate contains at least 35 grams of fat. It now seems obvious that most of the saturated, hard, or poor fats are hidden in foods and give taste to food. Furthermore, they are most commonly eaten in excess. Along with the high fat content, we have just seen that these foods are also very high in either sugars or salt, both of which have undesirable effects on your health. One of the tools you can use to detect the fats is the nutrition label on food packages. It provides an ingredient list as well as information on the type and amount of fat in the product. Ingredients are listed in order of weight and therefore in descending order. If fat is listed as one of the first 3 ingredients, it already gives an indication that the particular food has a high fat content. Saturated and trans fats can be listed under various names, such as animal fat, hydrogenated fat, lard, shortening or vegetable shortening, and hydrogenated vegetable plant fat. This might sound confusing, because vegetable oils are healthy, but because of the hydrogenation thereof, it has changed into a poor trans fat. The nutrition information is always given per 100 gram of the product. The quantity of fat per 100 grams of this example is 16 grams. The next important thing you need to know is how much of this product you are going to eat. If you are going to eat 25 grams or a quarter, your total fat intake from this product is 16 divided by 4, which gives you 4 grams. This is absolutely within your daily allowance of fat to lose weight, and you can enjoy it. If, however, you are going to eat a 300-gram portion of this product, you have to multiply the total fat by 3. This adds up to 48 grams of fat, which is more than a woman needs per day, and more than half of that for a man. I can assure you that cutting back on saturated and trans fats in modern-day living requires good planning. Take it step by step. Start with cutting back on all visible fats and read your product labels. Become aware of the fat content of foods. On the other hand, make sure that you take in the good oils. Don't neglect them because you are still having too much of the saturated fats. A very handy tool that you can use to make this task much easier is the user-friendly recipe books filled with a wide variety of low GI, lower fat recipes. For more detail on these recipe books, go to my website www.nellysilfus.co.za.